bring your attention back again to the center of your body as before. Bringing it back for as many times as it takes to build up a sense of continuity between your awareness and the center of your body. If the inner experience changes, there's no need for us to change it back again. It just becomes a question of following our inner object in its new form. And our practice may become one of observation rather than visualization. The real art of meditation lies in learning how to be gentle with the mind, learning how to apply nothing more than a bare minimum of attention to keep our awareness in place. If we're too forceful with the mind, we'll notice tensions creeping back into our body, or the whole feel of the meditation will become rather heavy and dull. If, on the other hand, we're too gentle in the way we apply the mind, then we'll find our mind slipping away too easily. And somewhere between the two extremes, there's a sort of sweet spot for our mind, which generates a sense of expansion and lightness and flow in the mind, which we'll recognize as telling us that we're on the right track. And if we can remember what it feels like to get the balance just right, then it'll be easier for us to find our way back to the zone on subsequent meditations. For now, we keep our mind on track, lightly and gently, occupying that sweet spot in our meditation. Short on practice in silence just for a few more moments now, until we come to the appropriate time. few moments to re-engage the positive energy, the sense of relaxation arising from inside us, reconfirming that we're still feeling calm and content, feeling that sense of flow from the inside, sense of well-being or brightness from within, or a warm fuzzy feeling that we might associate with doing the good things in our lives, the things that we're proud of. We allow that inner experience, whether it be brightness, inner imagery, or a feeling of well-being, to coalesce into our bright, clear crystal sphere inside of ourselves, infused with a sense of thankfulness or gratitude for all the opportunities that we've had to do good things in our lives, for all the peace, energy in our lives. And from this haven of peace within ourselves, we engage that positive feeling that we have right here, right now, allowing ourselves to feel cleansed on the inside, without having to do anything special or worry about anything at all. Just make the affirmation to ourselves on the basis of that peace energy, that may we feel happy, healthy, successful, fulfilled in our wishes. May we be free from illness and danger. May we be surrounded by warm, wise and loving people, while being inspired to remain upon the path, leading us toward the utmost happiness. From the center of this peace energy, we allow our mind to become ever brighter, clearer, and purer through our meditation, magnifying and multiplying the positivity till that inner experience seems to expand outwards on its own, filling the whole of our body, expanding beyond our body outwards into the room around us, outwards to all the people and beings around us, expanding in ever-widening circles to all the people we know, to all the sentient beings in our lives. And in this way we share our peace energy, our loving kindness, to all toward whom we share or wish to express our gratitude, allowing our peace energy to flow outwards toward them in all directions, without exceptions, with a wish that those other sentient beings be well and happy, free from suffering, fulfilled in their good wishes, free from sorrow or sadness. We allow our loving kindness to expand in this way in ever-widening circles across the whole neighborhood, notionally across the whole city, county, whole country, beyond its borders to the wider continent, and eventually to all the continents of the world, covering the entire face of this planet with a wish that all living beings, whether on the land, in the air, and the sea, be well and happy, free from suffering, live together in peace and harmony. That world peace might arise within our own lifetimes. So we continue to make good wishes for ourselves and for others in this way for the last few moments of our meditation together. Putthanupavena, Sappa Dhammanupavena, Sappa Sankhanupavena, Sattha Soti Bhavantu Te. So if you'd like to come to the end of your meditation for this morning, you can gradually open your eyes again. If you feel too uncomfortable, then slowly try changing to a more comfortable position before gradually finishing your practice. So, welcome again to everyone who has arrived recently. And in the next 15 minutes or so, I just take the opportunity to make a few quick announcements, and what you may also see is a little bit of a scene change, moving the furniture around a little bit to get ready for our little memorial event for Jeanette Rodriguez. So anyone who's in the front row might need to make way for some tables at the front, and also our Abba the Venerable Patch will be joining us as well in the name of the temple to pay respect. Yes. So I just keep talking for now until the furniture movers arrive. Just to say that time goes by quickly, but month of April is soon upon us, and the next full moon event held here will be on Thursday, the April the 2nd. So any of you who are fans of the Thursday evening class, please come an hour early and join the full moon event on that day, which will be in place of the usual Thursday evening class. Of course, the usual Sunday and Thursdays continue to take place as usual. Also, as the weather warms up, gets a little bit more predictable, hopefully, we have the chance for some more outdoor events, and this year, in place of having monthly temple tours with not so many people, we are trying a different format where we get everyone to come on the same day. So like a temple open day, and picking the opportunity of Thai New Year, where there's a lot more cultural stuff going on. We are aiming for Saturday, April the 4th as being our temple tour day. And it's an opportunity, if you know people who are interested, to visit our temple as just as a historical location, or as a botanical garden, or as a place that they're curious about without necessarily all the strings attached from meditation or Buddhism and stuff. They can come and look around for an hour, and it will be worth a while. Yes, lots of things going on. We're trying to invite youth groups and scouts, schools, local organizations to come along and see maybe how this place might be part of their plans for the future, to engage a little bit more with our wider community. But I know certainly schools and scouts seem to be interested from what we've heard. Yes, so between 2 and 3:30, and if you'd like to come along and be a host to some of those people, tour guide, learn about how to explain things in the temple to them, then we are still looking for volunteers to help on the day. So that's Saturday, April the 4th. As for our first outdoor event of the year, that's scheduled for Saturday, April the 18th, out on the lawn in front of the big Buddha there. Good opportunity again. Some people love the outdoor events. Starting at 6:30. Yes. Also, going deeper on Buddhism once a month as we do. The next session will be on April the 12th. So if you want to make a day of it, the so-called a one-day retreat, you can come along for the morning session on the Sunday, the April the 12th, and after lunch continue with a longer meditation and going a little bit of a deeper dive on Buddhism. We are looking at the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, so the final teaching of the Buddha. Yes. So I will not take questions today, but I will say that Let them do their magic with the control room. Yes, sometimes funeral events in Buddhism may not be quite what you expect. Some people think of funerals as being a time to sort of express your sadness and grief, or maybe just to give respect or honor to someone who has passed away. And I've been desperately trying to find ways to maybe find an appropriate crossover between the Buddhist way of giving as much positive energy as possible to a loved one who has passed away, while also being something which is relevant to us lot who knew Jeanette, who passed away quite well. Generally, the Buddhist idea of a funeral would be to make merits to dedicate on behalf of that person who passed away. Also, it's also a time to reflect for ourselves. So as the people who participate in the funeral, to actually come away maybe with a slightly more accurate or perhaps realistic view of life. Also to maybe hear some Dhamma teachings which might be helpful to us. Also to learn how to put them into our own lives. It's also, if we have anything still on our minds, something between us and the person who is deceased, is a good time to let go of that. Sometimes they talk a lot about forgiveness. It may be a two-way street, but a time to let go of that. And also, even if we don't know the person, in Thai tradition, people go along to funerals anyway, just to support the relatives. We realize people we know have lost a loved one, even if we don't know the loved one personally. Sometimes we go along for the sake of those friends who have lost that loved one, to support them in a time of difficulty for them. Yeah. So I'm just going to keep talking. At some point I'm going to have to move down the road a little bit. But I will say that I don't know if it's to our credit or not, but this is the third recent funeral that we have organized for our Peace Point community of volunteers. Some of our losses have been like of an age you would expect people to pass, like recently Sharman Warner. We still have her ashes to talk about at some stage. Also, we had slightly more middle-aged Kathleen Hudson, who passed away recently, but today a much younger member of our volunteer community, Jeanette Rodriguez. Yeah. So what will happen today? I'm just going to keep talking. I don't see furniture moving yet. The funeral will be quite a short one as they go. Generally, Thai people like to have an hour-long funeral. We're going to have a half an hour, but we will try to keep all the elements in place that are relevant to a funeral ceremony. So what we have is a little bit of a eulogy, which will be presented today by Dr. Iris, something of what we can have managed to compile of Jeanette's life, things to celebrate about her life. After that, we will have something known as Buddhist chanting, which involves something called the Abhidhamma. The little boxes we see here, they're not coffins, so please don't be afraid of those. They're actually little boxes which the scriptures are kept in, and we light the candles at the beginning of the ceremony out of respect to sort of bring the Dharma into the sphere of our ceremony. We also light some incense or put flowers there for the deceased. There is a sacred thread that connects it all together, so that when we come to the part of the ceremony where people can come up and present one of these orange robes, that it sort of connects merit-wise with the loved one who has passed away. Then there's a short homily by the lead monk. There is a blessing given, at which point those who are sitting in the front row have something called a water pouring set to pour water from the jug into the little bowl, which is a metaphor for the outpouring of positive energy from our hearts to the heart of the loved one who has passed away, in this case, Jeanette Rodriguez. And at the end, then we have a group photo together as a souvenir. Yes. So I'm going to make a move down the line here, and I will be joined by 3 other monks to make up the 4 required for the chanting. Also, our Abbot Venerable Patch will come to sit down on the table on your right, so please don't sit there instead. And he will be the one to lead the offering of the ropes. Anyone who wants to make a donation to make merits for Jeanette, there is some envelopes being provided at the back. This is totally up to you, but we will allocate those donations appropriately. Yes. And anyone who, when it comes to time for offering the ropes, wishes to pick up one of these ropes, there is some prepared down at the back of the room as well, to come up 4 by 4 to offer on the little ribbon which will be pulled out. Yes. So let me just shift position.
Please pay respect to our monastic community by bowing 3 times. Bow, bow, bow. We will now watch a video to honor the life of Jeanette Rodriguez.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me.
Hi, Christina. We miss you. Look who's here.
I know. We busted her out of jail.
I was in jail. Love you.
We will now welcome Iris to give a eulogy for Jeanette.
We are here to remember and celebrate Jeanette Rodriguez and her beloved Chihuahua, Moco. She is survived by her mother. You may have interacted with Jeanette and Moco during Sunday meditations, retreats, or other events. Jeanette demonstrated compassion and love in adopting Moco. He developed kennel cough at the shelter. Jeanette thought Moco would be an appropriate name. If you want to know what it means, you can ask me later or another Spanish speaker. Let's just say that it shows her humor. She called him her emotional support dog. They took care of each other. Jeanette took him to the dog park, brought him to the temple in a stroller, and often ran home after meditation to spend time with him. Through her connections at the dog park, she demonstrated support to others. Jeanette shared her dog park friends, Melissa and Megan's GoFundMe after they lost their home in the Eaton fire. With Susan and her husband, who she viewed as extra parents, Jeanette demonstrated social responsibility by sending reminder postcards to vote. You might have seen her emceeing events here, asking meditators to pay their respects to the teaching monk, showing curiosity by asking Venerable Nicholas questions after a wisdom talk, bringing food to share with others, and giving temple tours. Gintana and Sydney remember her once lugging around a microwave to donate to the temple. She had been a volunteer at the center from 2023 to 2026. Jeanette and I became friends in 2023 when I first came to Peace Point. She attended months before I did after watching Venerable Nick and Venerable Michael on YouTube. Sometimes people would ask us if we were sisters. We're both Latinas who were born in the 80s. We bonded over shared cultural experiences and even painful ones. Jeanette demonstrated strength and resilience in overcoming her past experiences by meditating and building community. She once told me that meditation really helped her when feeling overwhelmed. Jeanette expressed gratitude easily. There were occasions that surprised me how grateful she was for little things like remembering her birthday. She was humorous and at times did not have much of a filter. Being the elder and more reserved of the two, I would tactfully nudge her to remind her to focus. She was expressive, blunt, and amusing. You would often see her smiling or laughing. She would tell dad jokes and always had a funny meme ready in group chats with Sydney, Roxy, Christina, Holly, and Nikki. Jeanette called making dad jokes a midlife crisis, and I would know if she needed an intervention if she bought a sports car. If you wanted to share something funny, Jeanette was the person most likely to appreciate it. When I think of joy and fun, I think of Jeanette. After meditation, we would walk to our cars and say our goodbyes. We would hug, and she'd say, "Mija, pórtate bien." This roughly translates to, "My dear," her daughter, "behave well." I want to imagine that she is giving us one last hug with the reminder to be good and do good. Thank you.
We will now invite Pamela and Miriam to come and turn on the incense in front of the Dhamma case. Thank you. Now Venerables will lead us in some Dhamma chanting.
So the monks are about to chant what is known as Abhidhamma chanting, which is supposed to be a very meaningful and transcendental chanting, which for a spirit that has recently deceased will be able to grasp this, and it will lead the way for the spirit to enter upon a better and brighter existence, almost like a letting go and then redirecting to a better, a more transcendental place. So when the monks are chanting, and they will put the fans up in front of their faces, when they are doing that, if you would like to put your hands together in a gesture prayer, bring your mind back to the center of your body, and it's a good opportunity to think of Jeanette at the center of your body in order to extend the merits toward her as you are listening to the chanting. Tang Pat Kap. นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะกุศลธรรมะอกุศลธรรมะอัปยากตาธรรมะกตเมฆธรรมะกุศลายสมิงสมัยเยกามาวจรังกุศลังจิตตังอุปานังโหติโสมนัสสหกตังญาณสัมปยุตตังรูปารามมนังวาสัทธารามมนังวาคันธารามมนังวารสารามมนังวาพุทธาภารามมนังวาธรรมารามมนังวายังวาปนาราปตาสมิงสมัยเยภาโสโหติยวิเกปโหติเยวาปนาทัสมิงสมัยเยอัญเยปิอาทิปติจะสมุปปานังอรูปิโนธัมมาอิเมธัมมากุศลาปัญจขันธารูปขันโทเวทนาขันโทสัญญาขันโทสังการะขันโทวิญญาณขันโทตันตกตโมรูปขันโทยังกินจิรูปังอธิตานาคตปัจจุปันนังอาจตังวะปะหิทาวาโอลาลิกังวาสุขุมังวาหินังวาปณิทังวายังทุเรวาสันติเกวาตเตกาจังอภิสัญโยหิตวาอภิสังขิปิตวาอายังวุญจติรูปขันโทสังฆโหอสังฆโหสังฆอิเตนะสังฆอิตังอสังฆอิเตนะสังฆอิตังสังฆอิเตนะสังฆอิตังอสังฆอิเตนะสังฆอิตังสัมปโยโกวิปโยโกสัมปโยเตนะวิปโยตังวิปโยเตนะสัมปโยตังอสังฆอิทังจาปัญญาติโยกันตปัญญาติอายตนะปัญญาติธาตุปัญญาติสัจจปัญญาติอินทรียปัญญาติปุคละปัญญาติกิตาวตาปุคลานังปุคละปัญญาติสมัยวิมุตโตอสมัยวิมุตโตกุปธัมโมอกุปธัมโมปริหานธรรมโมอปริหานธรรมโมเจตนาภาโพอนุรักขณาภาโพปุถุชนโนโคทรพัวปโยบรโตอปโยบรโตปาปาคมโนอปาปาคมโนนิยโตอนิยโตปฏิปันนโกภเลติโตอะระหะอะระหะตายปฏิปันโนปุกกะโลอุปลาปฏิสัจจิกาตปรมาเทนาทิยามันทายโยสัจจิกาตัวปรมาตัวตโตโสปุกกะโลอุปลาปฏิสัจจิกาตปรมาเทนาทินะเหวังวาตาเปอาจานาหินิกหังหันจิปุกกะโลอุป
ลาปฏิสัจจิกาตปรมาเตนะเตนะวัตเรวาตาเพโยสัจจิกาโตปรมาโทตโตโสปุกะโลอุปลาปฏิสัจจิกาตปรมาเตนะติมิจฉาเยเกจิกุสลธรรมาสัพเพเตกุสลมูลาเยวาปนะกุสลมูลาสัพเพเตธรรมากุสลาเยเกจิกุสลธรรมาสัพเพเตกุสลมูเลนะเอกมูลาเยวาปนะกุสลมูเลนะเอกมูลาสัพเพเตธัมมากุสลาเหตุปัจจโยอารามณปัจจโยอธิปติปัจจโยอนันตรปัจจโยสมนันตรปัจจโยสหชาตปัจจโยอัญญมัญญปัจจโยนิสยปัจจโยอุปนิสยปัจจโยปุเรชาตปัจจโยปัจจจาตปัจจโยอาเสวนปัจจโยกรรมปัจจโยวิปากปัจจโยอาหารปัจจโยอินทรียปัจจโยญาณปัจจโยมากปัจจโยสัมปยุตตปัจจโยวิปยุตตปัจจโยอาทิปัจจโยนาทิปัจจโยวิกตปัจจโยอวิกตปัจจโย
We would now like to invite the abbot, Venerable Prachaya, to offer the robe to the monks. Now we would like to invite the representatives of the class to please stand up and offer the Dhamma robes to the monks. We'll go row by row. So first row, you may stand and offer the robes to the monks.
Have a seat.
Second row may stand and offer the robe to the monks. You may offer the robe standing. Next row, you are invited. Next row. Next row. Next row. Next row.
So the monks will now reflect on the robes. If you'd like to put your hands together at that time. ทั้งพันครับ อานิจจาวัฏสังขาราอุปาทวยธรรมิโนอุปาจิตวานิโรจันติเตสังอุปัสสโมสุโข
Next, we would like to invite some representatives of our class to offer the donation for the ceremony on behalf of Jeanette.
So may these offerings bring ever brighter, more refined and happier afterlife destination to Jeanette wherever she is reborn.
Now, I believe there will be pouring of water to dedicate merits. This will be during chanting.
So I just say a few final words before the monks give the blessing. Normally when we come together for a memorial ceremony, our expectation is that younger people will organize the funeral for the older folks. But sometimes it's the other way around, because in this world we cannot be certain how long our life will be. We expect to have 75 years of life on average, but that average means that some people it's going to be more and some people it's going to be less. But in Buddhism, the Buddha often took the opportunity to point out that the length of our life is not the main thing. but the important thing is what we do with our life. There's a saying in Dhammapada verse 111, Yo cha vasatang jive dupanyo asanghito ekahang jivito sayo panya vantasa jayino, which means better than 100 years in the life of an ignorant person who has no control over their senses is a day in the life of a person who is wise and meditative. And in this respect, there is a story, summarized in brief, of an employee in the time of the Buddha of a very noble and faithful supporter of the Buddha called Anathapindika. And in Anathapindika's household, it was a tradition on the full moon day that everyone would keep their 8 precepts, which means not getting the evening meal. And there was a new hire in the household of Anathapindika who turned up and didn't realize what was going on the full moon day. And he went out and cut firewood as usual. When he came back for his lunch, he found everyone else had already completed their lunch and was fasting for the rest of the day. So, in fact, that day he didn't get to have any food at all. But his idea was that he would keep the 8 precepts no matter what, even if he felt very hungry, but he wanted to have the virtues arising. So, in effect, that guy only kept 8 precepts for a half a day. But it turns out that for whatever reason, that guy passed away, and the last thing in his life which he did was to keep a half a day of 8 precepts. And it turns out that even though he had no idea really what he's doing, no understanding of Buddhism, but he did go to an angelic realm. And this story is to point out that it doesn't matter how long or how intensively that you do good deeds in your life, but if that is the main thing which you did in your life, then that is something very powerful. And I think this definitely applies in the case of our good friend Jeanette Rodriguez. Because since 2023, she volunteered her hard work, her compassion and quick-wittedness at our full moon events, temple tours, outdoor candlelight meditations, meditation retreats. She was one of the mentors on those. She even brought her little dog along for the 8 precept retreat. Can you imagine that? Helping out on Vaisakha Puja, manning the Peace Point publicity stand at El Monte portal between 2 worlds. Also attending most of the Buddhist talks each month. She participated in the temple Buddhist events such as Katina, the Mass Ordination, offering food to the temple, offering snacks such as fruits and raw materials. And it's because of Jeanette's prominent place in our volunteer community that by popular demand we were asked to organize a memorial today in a prime time of Sunday morning rather than the quieter time of the week, so everyone could pay their last respects. And live stream for members of ours who are in far-flung states and countries as well. So sometimes our Theravada is accused of being a little bit tone-deaf concerning the attitude to death and dying. So today I'll share some softer words of a Kadampa former nun called Gen Gomlam, who shared some relatable experiences about the ways Buddhism and meditation helped her to reduce suffering and pain of bereavement in her life. Before she discovered Buddhism, she said she'd never heard the words attachment or delusion used in relation to losing a loved one. If you're young and you lose things, you tend to think, this isn't right, how could this happen, this is not fair. And it leaves us in a state of confusion and sadness. And we spend our whole life gathering together a constellation of things and people and experiences which we believe will make us happy. But she explained that loss by itself doesn't have the power to give us pain. If we realize loss is part of the nature of life, we can actually learn how to transform loss into something that's meaningful and useful and life-enhancing, because we're all going to have to lose everything eventually. She said that pain comes from our reaction, And because reaction to suffering is a second dart of suffering, it is something that we have some control over. So everybody has to do whatever they do to feel better during an acute phase of loss, because we carry so much pain in our hearts. The grief, the loss, the disappointments, the attachment. Unfortunately, when we lose things, we mistake our grief for love. But grief, especially prolonged grief, is a form of attachment. It's a form of cloudedness that produces only pain. So pain is from attachment. It's not from the loss itself. And grief is a negative feeling. So if you can let go of attachment, you can let go of the grief. You can let go of the grief, you can increase your love. And the kind of love that naturally happens will arise when you make room in your mind by actively letting go of the attachment to that person, to switch from a narrow place in your heart into a more loving space. The Buddha taught that we have an inexhaustible fountain of love within us all that will never be extinguished. Instead of compassion, fatigue syndrome, the more we share, the more comes back to us. Because if we don't have a healthy response to loss, then we're going to suffer a whole lot. And the pain that hurts us isn't mostly physical pain, it's the mental pain of losing what we believe was the source of our happiness. But if we let go of that pain, it can be replaced by the best parts of us, because there's no one that doesn't have a lot of love. There's no one that doesn't have compassion, and no one that doesn't have those seeds in them that, if they're nourished, can bring forth the best part of ourselves and the best part of those around us. So just before we complete our ceremony with a monastic blessing and the pouring of water, to dedicate merit to Jeanette Rodriguez, our good friend and our fellow volunteer, I'd like to leave you with the poignant words of Maya Angelou that exemplify what Jeanette gave to the world, and perhaps what we can continue to give to the world in her place. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. So if you'd like to put your hands together in a gesture of prayer, prepare to pour the water at the first part of the blessing, then the monks will give the Pali blessing now. ตั้งใจกรวดน้ำอุทิศส่วนกุศลแล้วก็ละผลพระเสริมต่อไปเลยนะตักบาตร ยะถาวาริวหาปุรังภริปุเรนทิสาครังเอวังเอวะอิโตทินังเพทานังอุปกาปติอิจิตังปัจจิตังตุงหังกิปะเมวะสมิจจตุสาเพโพเรนโทสังคภาจันโทปนารโสยถามณิโชติราโสยถา
สัพพิติโย
วิวัจจันทสาปโรโกวินาศตุมาเตภวันวันตรายโยสุขิติกายุโกภวสัพพิติโยวิวัจจันทสาปโรโกวินาศตุมาเตภวันวันตรายโยสุขิติกายุโกภวสัพพิติโยวิวัจจันตุสาปโรโกวินาศตุมาเตภวันวันตรายโยสุขิติกายุโกภวะอภิวาทนาสิริสนิจจังวุธาปจายโนจาตารโรธรรมาวันทันติอายุวันโนสุขังภาลังทาสิเมอากาสิเมยาติเมตาสกาจเมเพทานังกากินังกาจาปุเปกตมโนสรังนหิรุนังวาโสโกวายาวัญญาปริเทวนานาตังเพตานามาทายะเอวังเตตา
นติยาตโยอายัญจะโคตากินาทินาสังกังนิสุปฏิติตาติกรตังหิทายาสถานโสอุปกาปฏิโสยาติธรรมโมจายังนิตาสิโตเปตานะปุญจาจักทาอุลาลาปลัญจะภิกขุนมโนปฏินังตุมเหหิปุญญังปัสสุตังอนาปกันติภวตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสทิภวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลังคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธรรมานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสทิภวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุเวนัสสทธาโสทิภวันตุเต
So I think just finish by bowing to the monks and then a group photo. Yeah.
Please pay respect to the monastic community by bowing 3 times. Bow. Bow. Bow.
So may all you be blessed with happiness, prosperity in life, and may these merits be a powerful force to bring Jeanette Rodriguez to a better and brighter place in her new realm.
Sadhu. We will take a group picture and then we will conclude and have lunch together.
When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call up my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running. Oh yeah, babe, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, now all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You've got a friend. If the sky above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind should begin to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud now. Soon I'll be knocking upon your door. You just call up my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running. Oh yes, I will see you again. yeah. Hey, ain't it good to know that you got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you and desert you. Well, they'll take your soul if you let them. Oh yeah, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Oh baby, don't you know about winter, spring, summer, or fall? Hey, now all you've got to do is call. Lord, I'll be there, yes I will. No, you've got a friend. You've got a friend, yeah. Ain't it good to know you've got a friend? Ain't it good to know you've got a friend? Oh yeah, yeah, you've got a friend.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hang it on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release. Memories seep from my veins. Let me be empty. Oh, so tied up in a straight line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back. Storm keeps on twisting, keep on building lies that you make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference. Escape one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness, all this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of yourself.